Honorable Speaker, I stand to support this bill on Kenya National Library Service Bill number 20 of 2023. Honorable Speaker, this bill, its objective is to give effect to Article 11(2)(a) of the Constitution. Honorable Speaker, this bill also wants to distinguish between the function of the National Library and those of the public library, which are devolved in the county level, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, National Library Services are vital institutions that contribute to the preservation of cultural heritage. It also supports education and research and also promotes access to information for all our citizens in this country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it is really unfortunate when you go back to our counties and we see the public library which we have. It is really pathetic. Anytime you enter in this library, the materials you're going to see, all the books you see, some of them are outdated, some of them are obsolete, and I think maybe even the governors, they have not even put any funding to ensure that at least we empower this library. Honorable Speaker, the library play important roles, which include preserving national heritage by collecting published and those which are unpublished information material for use by our future generation. Honorable Speaker, my sister Rachel has talked lengthily on so many areas whereby we need to keep deposit of all those information for our future and even current generation, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, our library also acts as legal deposit on behalf of government. It maintains all our records within our country, Honorable Speaker. When you're talking about our database, we want to know about the statistic of our population and so many other statistics. We can just go to the library and then we can retrieve this information. Honorable Speaker, our researchers, those who want to research on several issues, there are so many emerging issues, be it in terms of agriculture, environment, and other areas. We need to have a platform whereby our researchers can access reading materials. They can also connect local and even international through networks on international libraries, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it also provides a variety of information and resources which can facilitate our learners, especially our students in our learning institution, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, you remember during vacation, those days when we are still in secondary school, we used to go to the library and you used to go and read and keep on reading. And we didn't even have time just to sit idle and maybe do some things which are not good to our society. But nowadays, because we have not enriched our libraries and we have not even put some resources in our library, it is really very, very difficult to ensure that our students can access these libraries. The one in Mombasa County, it is really unfortunate because it is too small. Even the capacity inside there, you can even ask yourself how many students can come and maybe sit and just access to the books and the other reading materials. I think there is a need to ensure there is a proper structure, there is a mechanism to ensure how do we get some funding. And that is why I want to agree with the proposer of these bills that they say there must be a statutory recognition of this national library. And again, they must have some authority and rather maybe some degree of autonomy so that they can have some competence in terms of management to ensure that this is a very vital platform to ensure that we encourage the reading culture, because this is the only way we can ensure that education can flourish, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to say that this bill is very special and very important in our country in terms of socio-economic development, Honorable Speaker. Because, Honorable Speaker, anytime you ensure you build the reading culture, the culture of reading, this is the only way that we can ensure that Kenyans can be critical thinkers. Kenya can be having some new knowledge and develop new technology. With the era of digital, things keep on changing each and every day. And our scholars and our professionals, they need to access to reading material so that they can develop and they can be in tandem with what is happening in the current generation, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, with the CBC, which we are having right now in our schools, we really need to have library in every school, be it in the primary level or in the secondary level. We need to have we have to have a library. I'm looking on the ASAL areas, especially those from Northeastern, whereby even accessing to education is a problem. And you're just asking yourself, how many libraries do we have? Can these students access to this library? How long should they travel, or rather tarmac, to ensure that they have a place where they can call it a library and then they can access to information and other learning materials, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say that we need to encourage, as members of parliament, because we have the NGCDF funds, we need to ensure that we put some libraries in our schools. And also we need to have what we call community libraries, because education, or rather knowledge, is not only for those students or our pupils, it's also for Kenyans. Kenyans need to understand what are the emerging issues locally and even international, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just want to say that libraries are non-profit making organization. And so we need to have a way on how we can give them some resources, or rather some funding. And I don't know whether in our budgeting, anytime we do some budgeting, whether we are putting this as a priority or we are just taking it as just a function without any priority area. I think, Honorable Speaker, it is really high time to ensure that we have resources. And that is why today in this parliament, we launched the e-library. Because library is not only physical, but it's also digital. This is an era of digital. We need to have digital library to ensure that even Kenyans down there, those whom we represent, can understand what is going on in this chamber, what is going on in the committee meetings, how are the members contributing, how are the members representing them. And that is why we say we need to have this digital platform, and then we link them to our website, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to say that we are having this, what we call internship programs. And for internship programs, we need these students, some from the university, some from other colleges. They also need to access to adequate materials for them to empower themselves academically, Honorable Speaker. And that is why I say it is very, very important to ensure that we go as per the technology, because technology keep on changing each and every day, Honorable Speaker. We want to ensure that also our National Library can have some networks globally, so that at least our scientists, our entrepreneurs, our innovators can also have a platform where they can converge, discuss, share ideas, and develop some technologies which maybe can assist us in having some solution in the emerging problems which are encountering in our country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this bill has talked about maintenance of our record. Because when you're talking about maintenance, it means you are keeping it in the form it is. But we also need to say that we have to preserve. We need to preserve them so that we can prevent them from decay, from loss, from damage, because of climate maybe, when the weather, and so many other reasons. So I want to say that when we are doing that, we need to think on those areas, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this bill has also talked about putting this library in a good standard. And this standard should be both physical and also through digital. That is what I really want to emphasize, Honorable Speaker, so that we ensure we are going as per the technology, how it is really taking us, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I really want to emphasize, because when you're talking about maintenance, it means you are keeping it in the form it is. But we also need to say that we have to preserve. We need to preserve them so that we can prevent them from decay, from loss, from damage, because of climate maybe, when the weather, and so many other reasons. So I want to say that when we are doing that, we need to think on those areas, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this bill has also talked about putting this library in a good standard. And this standard should be both physical and also through digital. That is what I really want to emphasize, Honorable Speaker, so that we ensure we are going as per the technology, how it is really taking us, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I really want to emphasize that we ensure our schools will have this library. I don't know what are we going to do as per NGCDF, that maybe we can put some policy to ensure that at least any school you build as a member of parliament, you need to ensure that we also create a library within that school, so that we ensure all our schools will have some library at the grassroots level.